Welcome back to the Daily News. Have you ever really wondered what the difference is between like a psychologist and a psychiatrist and a social worker and a life coach? Well, Dr. Debi Lynes is going to answer some of our questions today in Mind Your Health. Hey, Debi, good to see you. Where are you?
Actually, I'm in Nantucket, minding my health. I'm at a symposium and I'm also doing a little self-care. So that's really what we should be talking about today. But I love the topic that you've selected because I think it's really important to know who to go to for what. Right. And I think primarily what I'd love to say, Robyn, first of all, is the real difference between kind of a psychologist, counselor, therapist, and a life coach is a life coach is really there to set goals and help you with your achievements and the trajectory of what you want your life to be. Right. Where a therapist, a counselor, and a psychologist are really there for your emotional and mental well-being. And there's a lot of overlap. I'm not saying they are mutually exclusive, but that's kind of primarily the difference. When we talk about a psychiatrist, Robyn, that is an important person to go to for medical intervention and oftentimes for diagnoses, because I think in anything, just like getting a physical, we rule out physical things first. Right. You know, right? Is it right? It makes sense.
Now, are both a psychologist and a psychiatrist? They're both therapists, if you will, and you said the psychiatrist went to medical school and can prescribe drugs, but the psychologist is more of someone that talks with you, or are they both therapists in a way?
No, they're not. Well, the answer is maybe and maybe.
Okay.
They're not necessarily, typically psychiatrists will manage the medical piece of it. If I have a bipolar disease or I have a schizophrenia, they can help me manage that. Okay. And then they may send me to a psychologist or a therapist to work on skills and strategies to develop better coping abilities. So that's really the difference. Oftentimes psychologists do assessments. They do assessments. So they're going to really look at testing. All right. Tell me what you're like cognitively, emotionally. Do I have ADD? You know, what are some of those things? Everybody can work together, but typically psychiatrists are not necessarily therapists. And then therapists and counselors typically have a master's degree level, and they again are implementing skills and strategies to help with coping.
Right, very good. Let's say you have a child that is just exhibiting some just kind of strange, unusual behaviors. Do you go to the school counselor if there's a social worker, or should you make an appointment with a psychologist, or just wait and just kind of watch?
You know, I use a pediatrician as sort of a great way to determine if my child needs to go and talk to someone. And again, there's nothing wrong. It used to be that going to counseling or therapy was like, ooh, a pretty scary thing. But in today's world, not at all. Right. Kids go, it doesn't mean there's a pathology. It means that there may be some strategies that moms, dads, and kids can use to help them better manage their life. And, you know, I think we talked the first time we talked about stress. Stress a bad thing or a good thing? It's a great thing if you make it work for you.
Right. Very good. Debi, I could just talk with you for the next hour about all of this, because we are experiencing, particularly with what's going on in our world and our economy, just a lot of stress, social media, all of that. We appreciate your time today. Please continue to have a wonderful symposium there in Nantucket, and thank you for everything that you do for WHHI over these many, many years, and particularly this wonderful segment, Mind Your Health. Dr. Debi Lynes with us. Bye, Debi. Thank you.
Hi, thanks again.
Bye-bye. In just a few moments, Carlton Dallas will join us. He'll talk about an exciting event coming up in October, a career day.